Here, you presumably see a body on the computer screen or whatever you're looking at this on. But here, there is no body. There is no person. There is no form. A body, as you're aware of, is born, and this has never been born. And a body and anything that's born, as you know in a dream, dies. But this cannot die. It has never been born. And it cannot die. It's eternal. It has no form, has no name, although we give it many names to point to it, and that's fine to point to a name. The name could be God, the name could be Brahman, could be Allah, could be the divine, it could be the totality, it could be the self, it could be Chaitanya, or it could be Carola, or it could be Will, or Bella, or Gary, or Elena. It's all the same. It's all the same. Because in this experience, that's all there is, really. There is only this. So often to say this, sometimes people feel, well, it's arrogant to call yourself God, but I don't call myself God. There just isn't anything but this. So that must be me, because nothing else exists. There's no self, there's no person, there's no ego, there's no body, there's no mind, there's no world, there's no universe. There's just this, appearing temporarily as these other things. So you, Carola, are this. Gary is this. Bella, Will, Margita, Elena, Lee. You're this. This is what you are. You have never been anything but this. But you think you are. Naturally. This body alone is convincing that it must be something here that's real. This dream is very convincing. Very convincing. Until we wake up from it. While we're in it, just like a sleeping dream. Aren't your sleeping dreams pretty convincing? You think no matter how crazy the things that are going on in the sleeping dream, it all seems very real to you. And that's made up purely with your mind, but so is this dream. This dream is also made up of your mind, combined with this vehicle, this body vehicle, which is made to experience a dream of form. And it does. It's very good at it. Seeing, hearing, sensing, feeling, smelling, tasting. All these things are made to experience a dream. Really well done. And all species have this. Different dreams than humans, but it's still all a dream. And then you wake up. Some do. In some vehicles, the dream just isn't convincing enough. It's very convincing, but there's cracks in it that keep showing up. Often in the process, we call them miracles. They're like, what the hell? This doesn't fit into anything in the dream. And you have enough of those experiences, and after a while, the cracks get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like the space between thoughts. We live in a world of thought, but there's space in between the thoughts, and if we focus on that space, that silence in between the thoughts, they grow larger. And we're able to be in silence without thought. So I have a simple question for you. Last night you slept, presumably, at least for some period of time. And putting dreams aside, these are just things made up by your mind, illusions, hallucinations made up by your mind that you happen to believe as you do the waking dream. So they're not important. They're pretty meaningless, really. But at some point, you went into a deeper sleep, a deep dreamless sleep, where there was no dream. There wasn't a sleeping dream, but there also wasn't a waking dream. So in the waking dream, there's a body, there's a self, there's a world that the dream vehicle perceives. But in dreamless sleep, there isn't. There isn't a world. There isn't a body. There isn't an ego self, a personal self, and as anything you can identify with. That doesn't exist. And yet when you wake up in the morning, something in you knows that you slept. And it isn't just the fact that you're lying in bed. Oh, well, that's a clue, right? They're little clues, and you had a dream, and now that dream blows up, because often the dreams we remember are in the morning or before we wake up. So we wake up from a sleeping dream into a waking dream. So that's a clue. But there's a deeper feeling in you, a deeper knowing in you that you slept. Much deeper than those things. You have to go in to find that. But somehow you know that you slept, and you know that you had a deep dreamless sleep. But how? There's no memory, there's no mind to know that there was a deep dreamless sleep. There's nothing there to remember it. No, there isn't. It's always present. You only know deep dreamless sleep in the now that you're experiencing it, just as it is for your true nature. It doesn't need a memory. It has now. And in now, all time exists, or doesn't exist at all. But in this moment, it's eternal. So there really isn't time, it's eternal. What happened 100 trillion years ago is now. What happens 100 trillion years ago from now is now. Already known, already experienced. There isn't any time that is not experienced in this. So something in you knows this, knows what I'm saying right now. It's not your mind. Oh, don't even try with your mind. It'll just be frustrating. Because it won't make any sense to what you know. You only know a dream with your mind. That's all you know. Doesn't matter if you're Albert Einstein or Buddha or anybody, your mind only knows a dream. But something in you knows more than that. Something in you knows much more than that. And that something that's in you that knows much more than that knows that you slept. Knows what happened when you slept. Even deep dreamless sleep, it knows very well what happened when the body was in deep dreamless sleep. Because that's samadhi. And it knows samadhi. In fact, it lives as samadhi. If you could call it living. Because it's beyond anything we can say. It neither exists nor doesn't exist. There's nothing that we can say about the reality of what we are. But we know, and it knows. And there is nothing that it doesn't know. But when we try and figure it out with our mind, we block that knowing. We distract ourselves from that inner knowing, which is only found in silence. We distract ourselves. We don't have to. We can let go of our thoughts. Stop trying to understand this and figure it out and just feel it. Just be it. You already are. It's not an effort to do this. It just means letting go of what's not real. And your thoughts are not. They're not true. They're just illusions. And the body isn't either. It's also just an illusion. And there's something here that is absolutely true. We cannot name it. We can use names to point to it. But better not to take them seriously. They're just thoughts. And this is not a thought. And it's not available to thought. It's not accessible by thought. It stands on its own as fundamental reality. Unknown to the mind. And that will always be. There isn't any way around that. But fully accessible to itself.